you can also, your emperor, you can choose to be like a fighting emperor or a bushman.
Yeah.
Like, if you fight, you get more legacy from fighting, but you also
I have
might
two
die.
flanking maneuvers.
That's the organizer, Matt Gannett.
They're all dead.
Yeah, and also you had one extra.
He has to have fun too.
They roll back?
Yes.
Cool.
I do have it.
And he put this together. This is a 3-day convention.
Wow.
So the militia? Who's the militia?
Yeah, the militia, yeah.
Yeah. 5 EPs for that.
Yep.
Yeah. 1, 2 for the victory, 3 for the dead guys.
Here,
I feel like I just need to be fighting barbarian. Being a
And here it is. This is it.
Go over the homeland and fight them.
I played this game.
you kill it because
I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Same here.
And you know who my partner was?
What?
Mark Herman. And I didn't know what was going on.
Okay. You play with
Yeah, WBC. Welcome to No Enemies Here, the show where you get fun. That's what it is. Hey, today, massive show. We got Ricardo's in the house, KilRoy's in the house, Dougweed's in the house, Ken's in the house, Seek Out and Play. Who else do I have? Well, hold on a second. Ricardo's in the house, man. And I think that's it for my contributors. And also, as you saw at the beginning, I had a short clip of Stack Academy where I met Jason Matthews and Kevin Bertram. I didn't interview Kevin Bertram. I interviewed Jason Matthews, which was a legendary interview with people all around, and I had no sound. You know what I'm saying? He's a great guy. We had a lot of fun. Great sense of humor. Played along with us, which is great. Not just games, but you know what I'm saying. Also, there was some... Oh, yeah. So, I interviewed 3 people in semi-depth, which were incredibly interesting. And I'm going to play one today, and it's a 35-minute interview, and it's with a big fish, and this guy doesn't give any interviews, but I so happen to tickle his fancy, and his name is Carl Parazzi. So, I have an interview with Carl Parazzi. We talk about his new games, his old games, and blah, blah, blah. It's gonna be in the show. It's for you to peruse. Like it or not type thing. I mean, like it or not. Whatever, it's for you to peruse. You know what I'm saying? And also, this here, where is it now? Oh, this coin that you saw in my eye. This coin was given to me by a man called Brian Jarvis, if I'm not mistaken. And this is the Nova Highlanders Wargaming Guild in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Atlantic Simulation Society, the Slackers Con 2023. I hope I can make it there because my wife is from Nova Scotia and Halifax is 3 hours away. So, you know what I'm saying? It's fun. Since I already drove 18 hours, what the hell? What's another 3 hours? long drives freak me out, though, man. I swear to God, I gotta take a break. To drive 18 hours, gotta take me 5 days. You know, break here, eat there, check it out, check mushrooms and all that stuff. So, okay. I hope you enjoy the show. Last week was Stack. It was a great time. I, for sure, plan on attending the regular Stacks and next year's Stack 13 or 15, depends if you involve COVID. So with that said, you know what? Without further ado, away parlo.
Hello everyone, this is Carlo Mazzini, and this time the greatest day in history and games is May 16th, 1811, the day of one of the most interesting battles of the Peninsular War, Albuera. It is the winter of 1810, and Massena, the French armies under Massena, are actually besieging the entire Portugal. They're besieging Wellington, and while Wellington is fortified behind the line of Torres Vedras in Portugal. The fight is inconclusive. There are some minor battles, and so Soult decides, Marshal Soult decides to intervene in support. But he doesn't know that when he begins his advance, Massena is already retreating. So, at the end of some confused action, Soult decides that at least he has to get some piece of terrain to claim as a victory, and so he conquers the city of Badajoz. The city of Badajoz was an important advanced point from which to a springboard from which possibly organize an advance in the spring of 1811. That spring comes, and Wellington, but Soult is a bit undecided, and then Wellington, sensing his indecision, sends himself an advanced force of 2 divisions under General Beresford, directly threatening Badajoz, so that to force some action from Soult. Now Soult, who in the meantime had retreated his main force, it's a bit of a back and forth affair, has to respond once again. He advances towards Badajoz, but he doesn't know from Badajoz that is now under siege by the Allied forces under Beresford, but he doesn't know there is another force under General Cuesta, another Spanish force that catches up with the Anglo-Portuguese force in front of the now besieged town. Essentially, Soult is outnumbered 36,000 to 24,000, more or less free to chew in wargame times. After having received this news that he's badly outnumbered, Soult carries on, however, confident in the greater quality of his troops. Beresford, on his own behalf, that is, he is emboldened by rival the Spanish contingent, renounces to his initial plan to withdraw himself back to Torres Vedras and sets a block along the road that goes towards Badajoz, near the town of Albuera. The problem of all those confused maneuvers of all these back and forth is, of course, coordination. The Anglo-Portuguese contingent arrives a bit late. The Spanish lines are in disarray. The cavalry deploys too much to the rear, and so the Spanish cavalry does not screen the main body, does not block the French advance. Okay, and also the French arrive a bit piecemeal to the battlefield. However, What is good is the Allied defensive position behind a series of small streams and natural obstacles such as hills and orchards and some good defensive terrain. At the beginning of the day of May 16, Soult decides a typical Napoleonic tactic, a diversion. And so he orders a direct attack on the town of Albuera itself, and Albuera is at the left of the English, on the Anglo-Portuguese and Spanish, the Allied formation. And this maneuver succeeds because there are also some troops going behind on Olive Orchard and they manage to create a surprise attack. So Beresford orders an immediate reinforcement of his endangered left wing. However, Blake, General Blake, that has the control of the main body of the Spanish troops, believes that, I don't know, he believes that the main attack from the French is not there at Albuera, but on his own sector, at the center. So he sends some units here and there, but he essentially maintains a central position on the hills, and so the Allied lines begins to stretch dangerously thin. Beresford arrives in the center of his own formation, but he has not the authority, the charisma to order more troops there. And then the disaster strikes, because yes, the main French attack was actually on the center of the Allied formation. Blake was absolutely right. The Spanish General Sahias has to face 2 full French divisions with just 4 battalions of infantry and some cannons. The French move along, they advance in a perfect mixed formation. This means with skirmishers and units in line, skillfully masking and screening the advancing columns that are going to charge in close combat against the Allies. However, Sahias manages to hold for a while and even repel the first French attack, but with serious losses. However, the French are too many. This is the mass of the French army, and so another charge is contained only thanks to the intervention of the Colbert Brigade and some pieces, some batteries of King's German Legion's artillery. Colbert strikes at the French, at the left flank of the French columns led by General Chicard, but has to face an intense crossfire and suffers terrible losses. There are some counterattacks, and then also a sudden intervention on the terrain. Yes, it is absolutely chaos that renders all gunpowder essentially useless. And it is the perfect time for a devastating charge from the Polish lancers, from the Allied with the French against the Allied position. So a few Spanish units managed to contain that attack, and also there are also Spanish cavalry that countercharge the Polish, but the situation is absolutely critical. There is a French pause. Girard charges again, this time against General Houghton units, because Colbert Brigade is essentially destroyed. So Girard charges against Houghton. The few survivors from Colbert Brigade. The French are still superior in numbers, but are much more disordered. It is, as I said, a very chaotic situation. So Houghton formation is dispersed, but Girard in the second wave, led by General Gazan, still cannot make any further advance. Colborne and Houghton have been utterly annihilated, but the French cannot advance any further. Beresford saw his press still at Albuera and anneals the center, and so asks General Cole to lead the desperate counterattack against all the remaining French forces, and mostly the French cavalry. Incredibly, you had to imagine Portuguese columns screening the flanks of British lines advancing against the body of cavalry. The French cavalry charges, and the Portuguese columns resist. They manage to resist a direct charge from the French cavalry. But however, it is absolutely slaughter. The ensuing battle is quite confused, and then the French has to stall the attack, and finally Soult orders a general withdrawal when he has news from the Rackham units that Wellington himself is advancing on a position with a main body of allied troops. The battle, however, has its own use for the French, because in the meantime the French garrison at Badajoz has managed to do a sortie against the few defenders around Badajoz and has destroyed all the allied encampments. At the end, even Wellington has to withdraw once again, and so in general this battle is strategically inconclusive. This is a battle in which both sides claim their own victory, but the main fact of it, okay, the French left the field, but strategically the Allied were defeated, they were forced to withdraw. But the main thing is that with this very bloody battle, possibly the bloodiest in the entire Peninsular War, the Anglo-Portuguese and the Spanish have demonstrated that they can operate together. This is a factor that will become absolutely crucial, very important in the next phases of the conflict. As for us wargamers, modern wargamers, we can only say what a battle it is. It is incredible. It is the typical confrontation of the Peninsular War with maneuvers, right deeds, formation changes, tactical decisions. Perfect subject for a war game. On this battle, there are many possible choices, of course, but as you know, I have quite a penchant for lighter and moderate complexity war games, such as the one I'm proposing this time, Albuera, 16 May 1811 by John Tyson. Now, just like Colbert, I'm a fervent admirer of John Tyson's work and of his own approach, combining classical hex and counter rules with some innovative twists that really streamlines the experience while retaining all the historical value and all the traditional fascination that we all have with traditional hex and counter games. Here the twist is quite similar to John's more operational scale games, with introduction of special event cards that modify the linear engagements that you have on a typical X grid map and with a CRT. This solution that is also combined with clever command rules that really capture the confusion and the friction of such violent and chaotic engagement give to the players a simple but very engaging system, also graced with a very low counter density. And in short, I really like this game. It felt both quite classical and new at the same time. And also, what I really like is that it has been published as the first of a series. But up until now, it is the only one of the series. I really hope to see other titles with this system, because such a simple and satisfying Napoleonic tactical rulebook, full of all the necessary nuances of the period, but also highly narrative and practically very easily manageable. This would be a great thing for our hobby. So, that's it for this time. See you on the next battlefield. Ciao!
Here at Noble Knight Games, we've been carefully growing the world's largest selection of tabletop games, going on 25 years now. From fresh-picked new releases to finely aged vintage classics and hard-to-find imports, you can buy, sell, trade, and play with us at our store in Fitchburg, Wisconsin. Or shop online 24/7 from anywhere in the world, just like nature intended. Grown fresh daily at Noble Knight Games.
And here we go with the crux of the show. Tony of Tony's Board Life has one video. This week, a live video, and it's Mitch and Tony play Steel and Blood ATS. What's ATS? Advanced Tactical System. I'm getting better with these, whatever you call them there, the shortening of the words. I forgot the word. But anyways. Check out Tony on Tony's Board Life. Steel and Blood, Araños, Block, Part 2. So, yeah. The Tank Museum has 2 videos this week. Evolution of World War II German tank destroyers. Come on! Plus, Not Defeated. British tanks fight back at Villers-Bocage. Sure. And the gentlemen of the Players 8 have 4 videos. They're working for their money, finally. Initial impressions of Tanto Monta by GMT Games, plus a review of Dutch Resistance Orange Shall Overcome. Are they talking about Agent Orange? And Plantagenet, a GMT game by Morgan Guyon-Retzi. And we were just talking about that at Stack Academy. And 2 people, we were talking about coin, because I wanted to get into coin, and I'm going to get into coin. But I want to be led into coin. You know what I'm saying? Grab my hand and bring me into coin. And Jean-François Tremblay, love the guy, man. And I did an interview with him. I'm probably going to post it next week. And then there's also a guy called Dominic. I forget his last name, but he's half Italian, so it's Paisan. And he was talking about Combat Commander. This guy's an expert on Combat Commander, okay? And that's all. So, and they finish off, that is, the Players 8, they finish off with a review of Mark Simonich's Ardennes 44, a game published by GMT Games. World War II Solitaire board game. What, he's back? He's back! I don't know if he was in Siberia or Tierra del Fuego, but man, this guy travels, okay? And he's checking out D-Day Dice Pocket, which I don't have here. I have it in my bag because I bring it to work. I read a little page, then I get tired, I throw it away, and I don't play the game. You know what I'm saying? So check out D-Day Dice Pocket Deluxe Edition, an unboxing on World War II Solitaire Board Game Channel. That wonderful channel that is History Hustle, I should say. 1 video, it's Camp Westerbork, the perfect camp in German occupied Germany. I guess. Huh? Kings and Generals, 3 videos. Post-Caesar Civil Wars. Kaiser Civil Wars. Plus Cornwallis enters the fray, and this is of the American Revolution Southern campaigns, 1779 to 81. Plus Rise and Fall of the Majapahit The Majapahit Empire. I'm sorry I'm pronouncing that wrong. This is the golden age of Indonesia. And talking about Indonesia, I've been getting into Muay Thai, not personally, watching it. And there's this guy, I forget, Bongtang. I mean, I love boxing. Love the sport, okay? Clean, I like clean sports. But there's Muay Thai that just takes it up a notch, bringing in elbows and takedowns and knees and feet, but done beautifully. I forget, Rotang. Check out this guy Rotang on UFC or something like that, Muay Thai. The speed is just insane. Advanced Squad Leader Academy has 2 videos on Advanced Squad Leader favorite minor nationalities, plus Advanced Squad Leader Scouting Report number 49, The Bitterest Day. This is a historical Advanced Squad Leader module. Kurt of ID Jester, I'm just showing you 4 videos here. He's got way more, And it's Open the Box, new stuff. plus the Castles of Burgundy solo playthrough for fun, he says. And payoff pitch baseball, Cincinnati Reds versus Atlanta Braves. And action PC baseball 2022. Opening day, Pittsburgh Pirates at St. Louis. You know what I mean? I gotta get back into baseball. Really. Respect.
For the second Wednesday in May 2024, Seek Out and Play presents the first in a series of videos called Warfighter 29. This is an optional version of the game that allows players to start with just 29 resource points to take on various missions. The video shows how to play with 29 resource points, the types of missions and objectives that are best suited for the series, and a team example created from the Warfighter North Africa core set. Future videos in the series will include team examples from different nations. The series is designed to help new players create their own small teams so they can play missions quickly. It's also perfect for those who have less time to create a larger team. Check out more videos on Warfighter when you visit the Seek Out and Play YouTube channel. Also, I have an X and Facebook page which delivers news about the channel, along with a monthly podcast which you can find on Spotify and BuzzFeed. And if you want to support my efforts in maintaining the channel, I have a Patreon page for monthly donations, or you can buy me a beer for a one-time donation. Check out more videos on the Seek Out and Play YouTube channel, and I will see you next Wednesday.
Respect! Jim Ozark, Ski Man, 4 videos, Combat Engineer 3 for Charlie Don't Surf, and the Battle of Egmul 3 for Valor and Fortitude, and the first battle of our battle for Armageddon campaign, battle. He said battle too many times in that sentence, so the first battle of our battle messed me up. And last but not least, on Jim Ozarski's page is flanking Saint-Germain-de-Pere 2 for Chain of Command. The man who looks like a vampire, Mark Felton of Mark Felton Production, 3 videos. Hitler's favorite hangout. Like this guy had a hangout. And Frag Out, World War II hand grenades, he looks at that, and the Churchill-Eisenhower 1944 shoot-off. Let's say Churchill was stubborn. The Canadian channel, Legendary Tactics, 3 videos. Guess who? Playing a fun variant, plus Twilight Struggle, how to play, a digital tutorial walkthrough, and I am finally gonna get that game. Plus Volkerunke interview, The Coast Watchers. I gotta watch that. Charlie Charles Latora, 4 videos. Atlantic Sentinels, first convoy complete, though the convoy ain't. And 15 millimeter teepees for my Native Americans. And Gettysburg, Worthington, through the first 2 turns. And line of sight stinks, starting over because he thinks he screwed up, Charles. So he screwed up. So you screwed up, Charles. Ah, it ain't the first time. I'm just saying that. Storm of Steel Wargaming, 3 videos. Well, that didn't go as planned. What a tanker battle report. Plus bench report and hobby updates of Storm of Steel, and that was a brutal battle report punch up in Placenois, if I'm not mistaken. Could be on Storms of Steel. Cody of the Discriminating Gamer, 4 videos. 2 of them are on Dune, War for Arrakis, and then he focuses on the Spacing Guild, and then he's got another video called Heat, Pedal to the Metal, and Heat, Heavy Rain on the Discriminating Gamer. The Chief of Bonding with Board Games, 2 videos. Orphans number 11, Road Trip, Twilight 2000, and actual solo play. Plus, The Walking Dead, AMC number 9, moving street level on Scotch test dummies.
Hey everybody, Douglas Weed here of the Gamer's Closet. So I wanted to talk to you for a couple minutes about, of course, war games. There are many, many war games that have been put out over the years, and some of them are great and played over and over again, and unfortunately, some have been forgotten about. And today I want to bring up two war games that I think mean a lot more today than when they were originally released. So we have all of the hoopla that's been going on in Ukraine with Russia, Ukraine, NATO, Russia digging out old Soviet pieces of technology and using them on the battlefield. So a couple of games that I want to highlight that have been practically forgotten about are two TSR games. TSR put out some magnificent games that have lots of pieces, heavy rule sets, there's basic and advanced, so you can do a lot with it. And the games are phenomenal. They have multiple different scenarios, so you can replay them over and over again and try different things, and they are fantastic games. The first of these is the naval combat game, The Hunt for Red October. The Hunt for Red October, you'll recognize, is a Tom Clancy novel. Both of the games I'm going to talk about were original novels from Tom Clancy that were readapted into board games by TSR in, I want to say, the late 80s, early 90s, before TSR went defunct. So this game has a phenomenal naval combat scenarios. It has the Soviet fleet versus the NATO fleets. The Hunt for Red October, the movie, is one of the scenarios in this game, but it has multiple other scenarios, including surface ships, nuclear weapons, you name it, it's in here. It's a fantastic game, and it's been practically forgotten about. The other one of those is the ground combat version of that game, which is Red Storm Rising. Red Storm Rising is the ground invasion from East Germany into West Germany for the Soviet forces against NATO. And a lot of the tanks that are in this game that the Russians are using today are old Soviet tanks. So they have the same maneuverability and same firepower then that they do now. So these games have gotten a lot more realistic over the years, especially with the events that have happened in the last couple of years, and these games unfortunately have been practically forgotten about. So I wanted to take a moment and just bring them back into consciousness, and hopefully someone here will remember one of these games or want to try one of these games. And they're relatively easy to find. They're on Amazon, they're on eBay, you can pull them out of Noble Knight Games. They're relatively inexpensive, and they're fantastic two-player games. So if you haven't tried one of these, I would highly recommend playing one of these games, especially since war games cover almost every genre you can think of. These are Cold War games that have practically become new again with all of the events that have happened the last couple of years. So this is Douglas Weed from the Gamer's Closet, and I hope you check out one of these games and hope you have a great gaming day.
Kevin Kitchens on Once Upon a Game, Sedgwick Attacks, American Civil War Volume 10. An unboxing, Salem's Church, May 3rd, 1863. The American Civil War Volume 10? Holy moly! And I said that before again, it's getting old. The Man with the PBS Voice, The Oaken Night, Traces of War, a play demonstration. This is a game by VUCA Simulations. Ruffy of the Rough Swordsman Wargaming, sneak peek, early look at VUCA Sims, 1812 Napoleon's Fateful March, an unboxing on Ruffy's channel, Rough Swordsman Wargamer. Combat Board Games is looking at Men-at-Arms Tactical Combat 1200 BC to 1500 AD. Holy moly! This is Dunnigan's last ride in war games. Well, he spanned a hell of a lot. That's like, hold on a second here. That's 3,000 years. Huh? Because you gotta know how to count BC and AD, and I know how to do that. Hopefully. My favorite Frenchie, Fred Serval, has one video, and it's the history of the collectible dice game. And it's live with, I don't know, but I'm assuming it's Liz Davidson. She shunned me for him. Indy Nidel's fantastic channel, World War II. 3 videos, week 297, Allied victory in Berlin, Italy, and Burma. Also, Germans and Americans fighting side by side. Can anybody say Castle Litter? And liberation of the Nazi camps, war against humanity. World War II, Indy Nidel's channel. Simple History has 2 videos, Life Inside a Medieval Castle, a cross-section, if you want to check it out, plus lifelong PTSD from the Vietnam War. Well, I would say so. I think once you have PTSD, as a soldier, having got that in a battle, I'm sorry, my friend, I wish you never had that. That's how bad I feel about that. But anyways, on Simple History. Arnie of ARDWULF'S LAIR has 2 videos, Counter Clipping Episode 171, The Best of GMT Part 1, plus BGF, Flood News. BGF. Buckeye Game Fest. Look at that! And the Chit Show with Dan and Artie. I'm Dan. War Games, Conventions, Comparing Notes. I actually could do that because I just went. Look at me, man. I'm a star. Mauro Faina, for our Italian listeners, has 3 videos concerning his show Il Gianni Zero Nero. He talks about, this is season 6, obviously, Esgonati. And then he talks about Winter's Victory. NES. Okay, that's not the NES I'm thinking of. And special mini war games number 1, 2, and number 3 on Mauro Faina's channel for our Italian listeners. Nanguaya, 4 videos, getting ready for the Moon Group Writers Workshop, plus the Bug River Bridge, and Planifier Saint, or Planifer Cent, I don't know. And what a great gaming connection day, Pocket Battles. I have that, I have it somewhere, and I'm gonna find it because that should be fun. On Nanguaya. Juste Regard, 2 videos, and it's the Battle of Fort Oswego, the French and Indian Wars, S&T number 340, and the Battle of Lake George, French and Indian War Battles, S&T, guess what, number 340, same magazine, 2 different games. Actually, same game, 2 different battles. For our Polish viewers, Wojennik TV, Michel's channel, is having a top 3. I can't pronounce it in Polish, I'm sorry. And then he's unboxing Sabika. And he's looking at Brian Boru. That's the best I can do. Thank you. I hope Michel comes back and does his updates on his videos much more eloquent than I am. GIMPY of the GIMPY Gamer, 3 videos. One of them is Fields of Glory Kingdoms, a tutorial preview, plus 6 days in Fallujah, May 24th, a review. This Fallujah, Mosul, Mogadishu. Oh my God, but Mogadishu is in Somalia. But anyways, I'm putting all these things together. These battles freak me out. And also the Fate of All, a review on the GIMPY Gamer. The Cook, that is, Phoenix Night. 4 videos, Black Orchestra, plus the spring campaign of 2024 concerning Arkham Horror, then unboxing Atlantic Sentinels, and Inside Pitch Baseball on Phoenix Night. Hexed Encountered, 4 videos, game-winning dry football gameplay, plus a channel update, and a JU-87 Stuka Eastern Front playthrough, I should say, from Compass Games, and Atlantic Sentinels first look, another game by Compass Games, on Hexed Encountered. Academy Games and Uwe Eichert and his son, Eifergunta, have 1 video, and it's a It was streamed live. Stellaris Infinity Legacy live stream. Check it out. An hour of this on Academy Games. Agility Snips Gaming. 2 videos on the same subject, and the subject is Skies Above Britain, Chapters 2 and 3, Patrols number 6, concerning Chapter 2, and Patrol number 1, concerning Chapter 3, a game published by GMT, designed by Gina Willis and Jeremy White.
Hello all, this is Kilroy from the road, and we only have 1 full week left of voting for the Charles S. Roberts Award, so get your votes in. And tell you what, if you get your vote in early or before the deadline, you too can win this tank. All right, you know what, I can't support that. I don't think I have rights to do that. Scratch that. But I tell you what, get your votes in. There's some great games that are represented this year. A lot of time and effort went into the selection process, but you too can participate by voting. So get your votes in. I'll put a link to the ballot in the description, and I'll probably drop it in the comment section as well, and put a link to another video where I talk about this. But get your votes in now.
The man, famously known as Calandale Enrico Viglino, is playing BATF. I keep forgetting what that is. Battle and the Fries. So it's Blenheim's part 1, 2, 3, and 4 on Calandale. Andrew Choom, 3 videos. Great War at Sea, I should say. Jutland. Or Jutland. I don't know why I want to call it Jutland, but it's Jutland. An introduction, and then basic combat system and advanced combat system of said game, Jutland, on Andrew Choom's channel. Dave of the Centurions Review has 2 videos, 3W, the Defense of Rourke's Drift, a review, plus Wargame Chat with his friend Len.
Len, don't do it. Release the patient.
Number 93 on HMGS Little Wars 2024. The Boss! Clark Commando 1983, 3 videos. A Unconditional Surrender World War II in Europe, a game by Salvasta. This is an after action report number 4. This is a Learn How to Play series. And then Axis Empires Ultimate Edition update on 4-player game. And again, going back to Unconditional Surrender, Learn to Play After Action Report number 5. These are great videos, these After Action Report Learn How to Play. Love it. Dave of Dave's Gaming Cave has 2 videos. And it's Storm of Steel Operation Barbarossa, Segment 3, Mission number 5 of Storm of Steel Eastern Front, a game by Compass Games, and also Atlantic Sentinels Open the Box, a game by Compass Games, and it is designed by Gregory M. Smith and somebody else, I'm sure. Look at Denver of Flying Pig Games. Denver Walker is giving us a May monthly update from Flying Pig Games. The Leonidas of ASL, George Hiotis, Tikanis George. 2 videos, 5 neglected rules that add realism to World War II combat and combat, I think he says. But George, realism, ASL, isn't that a contradiction? Ooh, what a shot. And George, what a shot I just put out there. So George, we have to talk, eh? Then Holiday, Green Day cover by Michael Hiotis. This is George's son. And I'm proud that you're proud of him, George, because musicians are special. Fatty Stowe, George. My paisan Gilbert Collins, one video, Rebel Fury, one box, 6 battles, a Mark Herman game published by GMT. Look at that, huh? Hexes and Soldiers, 2 videos. And it's Victoria mid-game live stream and the Spanish Ulcer 1809. I don't know what games that is, but that's Jason Cruz playing with a... He's into miniatures now, big time. Anyways, check him out. Everything's cool. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
All right, Carl, we're recording.
How long does it take you to mount a whole?
Well, that's the issue.
It's too long.
It depends. It's
especially all your animation and your music and all of that. It's well, you're a professional in that.
Oh, yeah, of course I am.
In that domain, but it's a lot of work.
Well, you know, ladies and gentlemen, here in Quebec, we find big fish, and sometimes
sometimes little fish.
So, yeah, but I got a big one today, and very elusive. Here we have a fish in Quebec called the masquinongé, and it's basically, they call it the freshwater shark. And when you catch it, it's a prize. So I have my prize over here, and it's Carl Parazzi.
When you catch it, you release it.
Well, yeah, because you're not going to eat a muskie. I have Carl Parazzi here. Carl Parazzi, one of the Quebec designers of note, obviously. And how many games do you have, Carl?
Done?
Yeah.
Oh, at least about a dozen, I would say, because if you count all the reprints, like I did some game from Victory Point Games, I improved them, done for GMC then.
Oh, I see. Okay,
like
okay.
And I will say about 12.
And I find, and I say this a lot, I find game design very much artistic, okay? And I know a lot of artists want to redo their stuff. Now, does that happen to you? Like, take No Retreat, the first one, okay? Do you want to redo that? Are you satisfied? Is it done? It's gone, or you can better it in your mind?
Right now, it's pretty much done. I'm doing a P500 reprint right now with the GMC. I'm a bit late. I have to deliver that.
Any updates?
GMC. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of small updates on the. I'm putting more in the game.
Like the cards themselves, you have updated?
Not too much. The cards are pretty much the same, because remember I started that game with the Victory Point Games in 2008. My first
My
game.
God!
I didn't know about design or anything, so I was pretty much going blind when doing that. And the game has evolved, and we added modules and stuff like that, because it started really small. And then GMT published it, and it was pretty much stayed that way since 2012.
How was it received when it just came out?
Oh, well, people liked it a lot because it's a game player game. I'm a game player. I'm not really a designer. I always say that I'm a game player first.
Yeah.
So I'm doing games to be played. So yeah, I get great reception. It's now published in Russia.
I know. And you actually gave me a Russian copy and a Chinese copy.
Oh, you have those too. Okay, I was looking for them.
Do you need them back?
No, it's fine. I got more.
Because it's something anyway. And what the counter count? I know you want the counter count, the chit count, to go down.
Yeah, well, I don't want to play a game after 2 hours, get a headache, and we all get busy, more and more busy lives. So I'm trying to get the game playable in this shorter time. So my game design philosophy is not more elements in a game than in a chess game. So 12, 16 counter or stacked maximum per game if possible. So the lesser the better.
Now it's funny because you said the older I get, the busier we are, whatever it is. And I asked Mark Herman that. I said, the older we get, don't we want to simplify stuff?
Yeah, that's correct. I agree with you 100%. I stopped playing monster game a long time ago. I know that our time here is limited. The more we get old, the less time we get. So it's better to take.
But what about the rule books? Like, how do you condense a monster type rule book? If you were to design a monster game, your rule book would be bigger. So how do you condense all that experience, all the mechanics you want to do in a short rule book?
Yeah, it's really hard to do that.
So that comes with experience, obviously.
Yeah, it's almost mission impossible. The problem a lot, and I did the same. Designers we have, you always want to add more stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm the first guilty party here. I love Chrome, so you have to add. I just want to add one more rules, but after a while, you get to a threshold where you can't remember everything, and the game enjoyment is downgrade. So what I do now, I put everything in the game. I put everything but the kitchen sink, and then I make gamers play test that. That's what I'm doing with my new series, and then I remove as much. Yeah, that's the only way I found to
it's funny.
to
I
work.
compared that to.
I remove all I can, still keeping the game working and interesting. I don't want to get back to chess.
How much Chrome is missing in that game now? Is there still a little bit of Chrome?
Which one?
Whatever game you're designing.
I'm doing a big Napoleonic game series, 6 game per box, 6 battle per box. Sorry, we'll cover then American Civil War and stuff like that. And that game I say I remove 50% of the Chrome in it, so it's kind of pretty ready now.
Yeah, you were talking to me about the Napoleonic games, like 6 boxes, and what's going on with that?
Well, the name of I will give you the name of the series and it will tell you pretty much how it works. It's called Battle Commander. So like I did a wing to Combat Commander, a GMT game that I love.
Right.
So it's about the same principle, no dice, only cards, wood blocks, painted on wood blocks for the military units, and as I said, not more than 20 blocks per side, if possible less than that. So
20 blocks per side.
It's a game player game, but it's still quite realistic.
Did you see?
And so it's 6 battle per box, like Combat Commander. They did about the same.
6 battles per box. Okay.
And it's in chronological order in Napoleonics. I start with the first Napoleonic battles in Italy. Then I will go on to do Hostilities.
Is each game playable by itself?
Yes. Oh yes, true.
So then you can combine. I guess you combine all 6 and you make a big campaign.
Yeah, that's it. I'm doing the game has took like 4 years to develop because I want to get the rulebook right from the get-go, and I don't want to modify it later on with other volumes and addendas and errata as well. They will have some, but I really want the core series to be a good one from the start, like they did with Combat Commander, and then I will add some volumes.
So who you gonna entrust to read your rulebook to find les pépins?
Oh well, I have a big playtest team. We have a lot of players.
So you do that. You do your rule book, and then you say, "Hey, check it out. See if there's anything wrong."
Yeah, and I have proofers and so it's a lot of work. I think half of the work is proofing and everything, and it's rule book. I think I'm on version 38 right now
of
the rule book.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So it's a lot of work, and not everyone will understand it the correct way at first. Everyone is different, so you have to make one size fits all, and it's not that easy.
No,
I'm
it's
getting
not that
better
easy.
though. I'm getting better. At first, when I started in the hobby, I had the great luck of having Alan Emmerich as a developer.
Oh yeah, okay.
So he told me everything. So I learned from him a lot.
Didn't he have a game design class or something, Alan Emmerich?
Yes.
He had it, eh?
Correct. Yes.
And
I don't know
funny.
if he has any more though, but he was a great teacher. So he's an amazing developer too.
It's funny, you know, he sold. Obviously, you're probably the one who told me he sold, and he was very unhappy with the sell because it was basically, what was it? What's that catchphrase? Buy and throw away type thing. What is it?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but it's a shame that Victory Point Games is not his baby anymore, because it was a really great school for new developers, new designers.
He gave people chances?
Yes, a lot of known people like Herman Lotman and other people, they started with Victory Point Games.
Wow.
So.
Where is he today, man?
I don't know. Well, he's helping to do a big monster game about the whole World War II in Europe thing.
Oh, with Thunder in the East, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, and they are doing an add-on to that, kind of.
Okay. Carl, going back to your series, you said it's Napoleonic you're doing, but you had mentioned before Civil War.
Well, my main gaming interest, in fact, was beside the World War II was Napoleon game.
Right, yeah.
huge miniature fan. I played a lot of miniature battles like 20, 30 years ago. I painted all those miniatures. And I did big
You still have
displays.
all those miniatures?
Oh
eh?
yes, well right now they're in the museum because they are doing a history of war game expo for 2 years at the Quebec Citadel
No
Museum.
way.
Yeah, Royal 22nd Regiment. So they did dioramas with my miniatures. My ASL rulebook is there also. It's in a museum now.
Your ASL. Why your ASL?
Because I had they took a lot of games in my collection.
Okay.
In the museum. They asked
They
me to,
must have flipped.
I have a lot of stuff, so I said, well, that one guy will be able to fill the museum up with the games and stuff like that.
So, because I'm intrigued in this six series thing you're going to do. So
yes, Napoleonics game,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to do it combat commander style. It's not at all the same, but the same form factor. As I said, no dice. The combat result on the
CDG,
card.
obviously.
Well, CDG and not, yes, like all my no retreat games, you have advance on the cards, and the cards serve like game money also, and you draw the cards to get all the morale results and stuff like that. So it's quite fast playing, small boards. It's like half of a GMT map for each battle.
Okay.
And double-sided mounted boards.
And
as I said,
what about ease of play? What's the complexity on that?
well, okay, I have a lot of, no, not a lot. There's a lot of Chrome in it, but you don't have to use it. The game is split into two parts, the game rules, so you can stop at middle of the rule book, so you don't have to do all the small Chrome like special columns for infantry and stuff like that. And,
Okay.
But it's a pretty basic game though, because I've added in the rule book one pager at the start. You read that, you pretty much know how to play the game.
Really?
And then the rest is all the small nitty-gritty details. My playtester, I'm able to make guys play in about 20 minutes and from the get-go, but then those guys are war gamers, so they know that stuff. A lot of common ground in all the games, so it's easier to.
It's fun because
very fast playing.
Rule books are it's something, and you know Jerry White.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to answer this, Carl, to whatever it's saying.
Yeah. Well,
but what do you think of his rule books? Personally, his rule books fit my brain.
Yes. Well, rule book is really an art. Some gamers have it. Like again, I'm back to Combat Commander. That's an excellent rule book. I really love it, and I love it when people do a lot of example of play, a lot of breaks in the game. I mean, like Combat Commander again. They put some small snippets of historical tidbits.
Yeah. You do that too.
Yeah, I did the same because I think it's a nice break when you read.
Yes.
And then put a bit of a designer note in the rules to explain that rules, and then at the end of the day, extensive play example, a lot of historical notes and stuff like that, so the gamers can go by bits and pieces, do a few chapters of the game, and then go to the example of play.
And it's funny because I go ahead.
One thing also, but nowadays, we will do that also. I think that video replays, people are all visual.
Yes,
right
especially
now,
me.
So I don't think, especially the younger people, not everyone, but people read a bit less, and they are less able to read a lot of stuff. So video tutorials are really a great adjunct to any kind of rules.
You never thought of doing it yourself? After actual report of your games?
Yes, I will.
You will be doing that?
For the Napoleonic series, I will do that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Let me know, please.
So if you want to help me,
I will help you 100%. 100%.
You're the expert on that.
100%.
Yeah.
Those little flavors that you did under the card there. Where did you get that idea?
What do you mean?
The little snippets, like when you play a CDG card, for example. When I play Rourke's Drift, what's it called? The Victory Point games.
Yes.
What's it called? Zulus on the Rampart.
Yes, Zulu on the Rampart.
Now you play the card, but then there's a little saying that Sergeant Clemford or whatever he was this and that. Where did you get that? Did you just do it and it happened to?
Yes, exactly. I like it to have. Since the game are really simple, everything is in the cards. So you have all the historical info. You also have the combat result and the events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you have a small picture, so it gives historical figure.
Yeah.
Each card tells a story. So
well, for me, it's fantastic, and
I love doing that. Yeah, it's less dry, so the game takes another dimension, and you can role play. I love role play, even war games. I love. You know, you played with me.
Yes.
Combat Commander again.
Yes.
And
did I ever win a game of Combat Commander?
Not yet. But
how quick?
I'm really
how
lucky.
quick that was.
And it's a perfect game to do role play, and it's fun. So
yes, it is fun.
The goal of games is to have fun. So it's really nice to have games that you can use to do that.
No.
And that are multidimensional again. It's not just some counters, a map, a dice. You have all kinds of cards and all kinds of weird things happen. You have random events like the blind sword system of Herman Luttmann. It's really cool. You have stuff happening in the game. And okay, perhaps the game won't be balanced, but what? We don't care. We just want to have fun.
Yes,
and
yes.
relive
and
history.
it's funny that you say that because Jean-François Tremblay was saying that yesterday.
Yes, and like okay, Advanced Squad Leader with that big thick book.
Yeah.
Everything is supposedly to be really, really realistic. Well, it's not that realistic, but it's still a fun game. What do players remember when they roll a 12 and their gun break? And
yes.
The leader, we had that Berserk squad attacking you, and those kind of extreme events. That's what you remember.
Yes.
Those are fun. So
yeah.
The more you have in a game, not to the point that it's a complete chaos, the better it is.
Now,
from my standpoint.
Now let's talk about a real interesting system, Carl, that I have a hard time getting in, and you're not a fan of. Coin.
It's those games tell a story. You don't have. I say you have 50% control over what the game does, and 50% it's really random. So the game engine is really nice. I like the way it's done, but I don't like the topic. No, it's not my. I'm not interested in coin topics like counterinsurgency.
And that's what I was telling JS yesterday.
But the Pendragon is a great game because it's the coin system. It's not a coin game. So for me, yeah. Pendragon, it's not a counterinsurgency system. It's the history of Great Britain during the King Arthur and stuff like that.
Right. So it's fantasy there.
It's fantasy a bit, but it's also not like Vietnam or the Malaya counterinsurgency.
So what? It's more. There's more chrome in it. Is it more Euro-like?
Yeah, in a way. But it's just the setting. I find a counterinsurgency battles and stuff like that a bit.
Like you're talking about the subject itself, right?
I find the subject kind of depressing.
Uninteresting.
Oh, depressing. Also.
I feel the same way.
So that's why I never took those into those games. But I do have the design. The game system is really nice. Probably can be adapted to some other, like Pendragon did, adapted to some other kind of games. And what is nice with the coin system is you have your own little world to manage. So you don't really have to and it's an asymmetric game, so you're trying to get your win, but you don't have to check out what each other player is doing all the time, and you don't have control. You have to manage chaos, so that's really nice, and it's a really easy game to sit and start playing even if you don't know the rules very well. But it's very hard to play well because of all that chaos and it's the topic. If they can use like Pendragon, other the games design can use the system to other means. I think it will be really interesting.
It's funny that you say that you have when you play a coin game, you're focusing on yourself. That's very Euro-minded.
Yeah, well, it's a port. It's between a Euro and not serious war game, but between and not even real war game. So what is a war game? It's a bit of both. It's a bit of that's why it has a lot of success with the Euro crowd. They look at a board of a coin game and say, "Oh, I can play that."
I see. I see
no HEXES. I don't see those small cardboard units. It's less scary for those people, from what many experience.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a game. Well, Jean-François wanted to have a game, but he said start with Cuba Libre, and it's gonna be a short game of 4 hours. And I thought, short game of 4 hours? Forget it, man. I can't focus that long. Okay. Coin, whatever. you're going back to your discography, your game, all the games you've done.
Yeah.
Is there any game that you're like, eh? You know?
Yeah, sure.
Which one?
Oh, which one? The game I like the least, let's say, because I like all my game. Because when I do a game, it's to play it.
Yes.
I want it to be produced by. I'm using the publishers to do my bidding to have a game I can play myself.
Yes, I understand. I understand. That's an artist.
I would have said Absolute War, but no, the French-Polish game is the one that is, I think, simulates history the best, but it's a bit too finicky. But I had to do that. I had to use the game, the No Retreat game engine. I had to adapt it to make it work. So it worked great. It represents history very well, but it's too finicky. So the player enjoyment is too many small details. Doesn't flow as well as the authors in the series.
Okay.
So I went a bit, and I always say that it's the most complex game I will ever do.
The French-Polish one.
Yeah. Because the topic is really a bitch. It's really hard to simulate well, and for players to have fun. Well, they still do have fun, and some designer took some of my ideas. I'm really proud about that, to make their own games about the same topic. But it's the one I like the least because I had to put a lot of chrome in it to make it work, like some plan cards, and I had some counters for initiatives. Anyways, it's a bit of a not a mess, but if you compare it to First No Retreat, it's quite involved.
Now, French-Polish, I don't understand the connection of the history
because
there.
the game covers both the initial 1939 Polish invasion
and
the French
Blitz. The German
the Blitzkrieg in France in 1940.
You know, that freaks me out just thinking.
It's very hard to do a topic like that. The Italian front, same thing. I'm going to another.
Yeah.
Wait. Very hard game to do and to make interesting for players. That's why you don't have many Italian front World War II games. In fact, I know of very well-known game. I know of three, plus mine included. You have the classical Enzio from Avalon Hill. There was another game, I don't remember, made by who, about at the same period, and then mine. You don't really have a game about the full Italian campaign because
that full Italian campaign is called Husky. Is that right?
No, Husky it's just the invasion of Sicily.
So what's the full Italian campaign called? There was no name per se.
Italian campaign.
Okay. And it's
a bit the front line doesn't move very much. It's the German. In theory, the German game play is a bit dull. You're always defending all the time.
But yeah.
And the front is narrow, and it takes forever to play. So I had to use a lot of, again, chrome ploys for the game to work. So some of the turns are compressed into shorter kind of turns. So like when you're in Italy and there's muddy season and it's winter, nothing much happens. So you go fast forward when you play that turn of the game. And then the major offensive, the turn will get into, it will be more granular, so you will play like 3-minute turns and so on inside the game turn. So I had to do that also, a lot of work to make the game fun and interesting. So, plus one just small ploy I had to use. At the middle point of the game, there's a chance you switch side, both players switch sides. So if you're tired playing the German, always defending, in the middle game, just before own pulse,
you can switch sides.
Oh yes, you play the Allies, and then the other guy is stuck playing the Germans, and that's working.
Now no retreat.
A lot of work.
No Retreat is a system.
Well, it started just as one game, and then it ballooned into a system, but it was not intended like that. When I started in 2008, I didn't know what I was doing.
I understand. But are you porting that system now to your new Napoleonic series?
Not at all.
Or it's completely different?
Besides the fact that you have cards in the game, completely different. It's not at all the same thing. I don't have any strength values on the blocks. Everything is done by cards.
Oh, the blocks.
Yes, I'm wood blocks that will be painted on, no stickers.
I was going to say, Did you see Worthington Publishing? They just put, and everything is I thought that's fantastic.
That's great. That's
Come
what gave
on.
me the idea. I'm getting the new block prototypes very soon from the Chinese manufacturer. So it will be. I will put that online as soon as I get the blocks.
That's cool, man.
Great.
Because to do all
Mounted
those stickers, man,
yeah.
man.
So I had to do the graphics were quite. The game is on Board Game Geek. Combat Commander. Look that up. You will see the graphic examples. Some of the final production ones are. I just put them there a few days
BGG.
ago. Board Game Geek.
Yeah.
So I kept the graphics very simple because I had to. The blocks have to be painted on, so I cannot do a lot of really involved
well, I mean,
graphics. So that's a plus because I had to tailor the mechanics of the game with the simple blocks. So it was an interesting exercise and it made the game better, I think. Because you almost have no computation in the games to do. You don't have any factor to count, almost none.
What about dead
time? So it plays
time?
as a breeze.
Is it I go, you go? Or
no, it's a chit pull. Well, it's cube pull. You pull a cube.
Right.
It tells you who is moving, when combat happens, when you rally your troops, and all kind of small stuff like that, and also when the game ends, the turn ends. So you never know exactly when the turn will end. Well, you have an idea, because I said after the turn, you pull up the third black cubes, the turn ends. So you never know exactly when the turn will end. You have an idea. Combat, you never know exactly when it will happen, but you have some card that allows you to do combat outside of the combat phase.
Do you have a deck in your hand?
You have some event cards that you can use. A bit like, that's true, a bit like No Retreat. Some cards you use them as game money.
Yeah.
And for random combat uses and moral checks and stuff like that. Plus events.
Ted Racier just
yes.
did a game, a Napoleonic RPG solo game.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I won't tell you what I think.
Okay.
I've heard some gamers, some testers talk about the game, but I reserve my judgments when I see it. I will buy it for sure. I'm really excited about that. But I had some playtesters tell me what they think about the game.
Oh, okay.
We'll see when it's
Do you have?
I haven't seen it, so I cannot.
Do you have the other Napoleonic game, that solo RPG? What's it called from?
Yes, good question.
What's it called, Carl?
It's
who's the company?
Legion of Honor.
Legion of Honor.
By Clash of Arms.
By Clash of Arms.
I have it. I have it for many years. I finally decided to play it a few years ago when I started my Napoleonic design.
And
I was so excited trying it. And I have a lot of stories about my character. I was able to get. I was a nobody. I put on my score in charisma. I was able to get right away a very beautiful, intelligent, and rich wife. The top, a 10, and I rolled a 10. I got it.
Oh my God!
There was a lot of other officials that were jealous about that, and they were always trying to get me to a duel. But I'm so bad at sword mines. I was always saying no. Anyway, it was very funny. So the storytelling is great.
Is it?
But yes, but the game itself, something is missing. Probably because I played all alone. Probably when you play with mini games.
Well, isn't it a solo game?
In theory, yes, but no. You can play up to 8 players at the same time.
I didn't
so
know.
You
Okay.
play like all in the same regiment or in the same army. But you can play. Could be a cavalryman, an artilleryman, but you can even ask one of the other players in a duel to fight over a woman and stuff like that. But it's the way you win. It's mainly getting money and getting kind of a score, a famous score, and the goals were. I found the goals a bit lame. So it was very repetitive. So I was not very. I did not like the game too much because of that. And I hope that Mr. Racer game does not fall into the same trap. But if I had to write a Napoleonic fantasy novel, I will use that game as my
as a narrative
to use. But for the fun of it, after a while, it was a bit repetitive. But I played alone, so perhaps when you play.
But I'm surprised that you actually played a game by yourself. You're not a solo guy.
No, it's on the opposite. I don't have many opponents. I don't have the time to play with a lot of people. So I would say I do 90% of my games solo.
And
Yeah.
I know
Since forever.
I've been bugging you to make a solo game.
Very hard to do solo games.
Is it really?
Paper AI engines are really a bitch to do. I did one for No Retreat, but I used the same ploy as Markerman did with his Peloponnesian war game.
Right.
You switch sides.
Switch, yeah.
That's the easy solution. It works super well, but to do a paper engine for a war game, a classical war game it's really super hard. Or you have to be a genius and do things like the Kharkov game. That was done.
John Butterfield.
John Butterfield. But the guy is a genius for Solitaire. But it's so much work for.
It's a lot of work. It's incredible.
So the best thing to do is to call Dan and have you come over to my place and you play. I will play Solitaire with you. So you play the AI. So instead, it's better to have someone else to play. So the good Solitaire play games are always repetitive, like the B-17, Queen of the Sky,
but that's
other U-boats. But you're always doing this. It's only rolling dice.
Yes.
But it's that. Oh, that's why I'm doing. I started all my games the No Retreat first, then the Napoleonics will be ported on computer with a full AI. We started working on the first No Retreat last year.
Who's the publisher?
Avalon Digital, the same guy who's made the War and Peace stuff. The French company.
Okay.
So we'll have a No Retreat soon. All the graphics, all the engine is done. It's only tweaked the AI now, probably in a bit more details. So we'll have those games out hopefully this year. Well, the first No Retreat, then we'll do the other one, possibly. Some will be more difficult than others. Then I will do my Napoleonic series. So you will be able to play either board or the game on computer with AI.
The mechanics of the Napoleonic series that you're going to do, the six-boxed game, I'm going to call it. Any chance you're going to do a World War II type of?
For World War II, I'm not much into strategic game. I intend to do a No Retreat full Europe World War I game. It's on my drawing board. I have so many things to do. One day I will do it for another publisher. So that's the most strategic I will probably do. I don't think I will do a strategic Napoleonic games or stuff like that.
Oh my God, so many games. You plan on living to be 200 or something?
98 at least. So no, well, I'm doing my No Retreat. I will take a break after I have to finish. I'm really a bit behind. I have to finish my No Retreat 5. Yeah. It's a kind of a double game between. It's a West Front game, 44 D-Day, 44, 45.
No Retreat mechanics.
Yes, but there's a catch. For all those D-Day in Western Front game, what I don't like about all the games is that you have a small, narrow Normandy 4-3-4X where you have tons of counters, and then the game break open and you
okay.
But I mean, Normandy, that's the big battle besides
but I mean, what scale are you using?
That's the catch. What I'm doing, I'm doing the double-side map. One map would be a high scale of the Normandy coast. So you will invade at a high scale, and when you break out, you flip out the map and you play the rest of the campaign, the exploitation and the ball.
When do we expect this?
Oh, not right now. It will take at least another year before it's all.
What about your Napoleonic series that you're doing?
This year, not the game Kickstarter and Game Found will start in a few weeks. It's Sound of Drums, the Swiss company who is doing the game.
Okay.
So you will hear, people will hear about it in a few weeks.
And
a few weeks next month at the latest.
Personal questions, Carl.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an engineer. I work in IT a lot when I was younger. I'm retired theoretically since 4 years ago.
But how many days are you working now? Retired?
Right now, I'm not working at all. Well, I'm working on my games, so I'm not taking any contracts for a while. I will probably start working if I take a contract in September this year. I don't know, but I'm pretty carefree, so I can decide if I work or not right now.
Because
but all the other games I did, I was working like 40, 50 hours a year, a week in a year. Right now, yes, 40 hours a year. I was doing a lot of work during the week and the weekend, so I did not have a lot of time for the game. So I was publishing one game each 2 years. About that, perhaps each 3 years.
Well, isn't that something, man?
That was I don't know how I was able to achieve that, but nowadays I have way more time.
So
the Napoleon game, I plan to do 2 per year, plus 1 GMT game per year, so 3
and
games a year.
who's going to publish Napoleonic games?
Sound of Drums, a new Swiss company.
Swiss?
Yeah.
Okay, and we were talking before, we were talking about...
super high quality. The component will be top notch. You can't get better.
But hold on a second, the components, don't they resource in China?
Yes, but the Chinese people they are using, they have German production machines, so the quality is really
Oh,
great.
I can't wait for that, that's for sure.
Check out what they published. It's all from the same publisher.
What were they called again?
Sound of Drums.
Sound of Drums.
Yeah.
And what I was saying before, we were talking about, I don't know how this came up, but the future of wargaming. And you had mentioned that this is going to be happening more in Europe.
No, I won't go that way.
Okay,
No, okay. Let's. It's my own.
Okay, just forget it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're just talking.
I don't say I'm right, but from what I've seen since the 2000, I think.
See.
We all die off in the 10 years.
No, I understand. But
in 10 years,
what came to mind to me is that we're seeing more. I guess because of YouTube, we're seeing more Europeans.
Yes, that's correct.
showing their games,
yes.
Like Riccardo Mazzini, Fred Serval.
Well, Europe is like everything started in the United States. The war game was born in the States. The board war games that we have, that's how it started.
Okay.
In the 50s and 60s. But all the players, they are mainly in the 60s and 70s started playing, and now they're getting really, sorry guys, they're getting really old.
I understand,
The new players, they are not...
They didn't take up the...
Well, there's new guys, but not that many. So, but in Europe, they are behind 30 years behind. So the
I
people
see
are
what
younger.
you're saying.
And at one point, there will be less and less people, and not only the players, but the editor, the publishers, a lot of people are getting older also. I'm sure that people will take over, but in 10 years, if you look at the pictures at the convention in the United States, I'm sorry, guys.
I know, no, it's true. I know.
We are
there's
all
no
getting,
apologies to be
getting
made.
really old, and that's the way it is.
And the thing is, there's not much money to be made in publishing unless you're Uwe Eichert,
right?
Who's a German engineer, for God's sakes.
Yeah, well, that guy is a businessman.
That guy's a businessman.
And people, they always go, well, it takes forever to put out the game. There is a reason for that. I know very well, and he knows what he's doing.
I love the guy. Yeah. I love the guy. Once he was in Toronto, and I said, Uwe, come on, I'm just 4 hours east of you. He goes, us Germans are not good going east, so I'm not gonna come.
But I will meet him soon because he's a skier, so I invited him to Mont Tremblant.
Hey, that guy's in good shape, that guy.
Yeah, he's
a soccer coach.
Yes, and he's first aid patrol ski guy.
He's a violinist.
Yes.
He's
doing everything.
My God.
He's doing too much stuff. He has to concentrate on games. But
I can't wait to see him again. The guy's a blast.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say to you about the state of the hobby.
About the state of the games?
Of the hobby.
Well, I know in Italy.
Remember.
How come you never been to Italy to the board game conventions?
I was speaking about Italy to my girlfriend just this morning, and I said to her, if I go to Europe to a board game convention, I will go to Italy because that's where you have the best game convention, the best players.
And the setting, for God's sake.
French is nice, Spain is nice too, but Italy is the best place for that.
Well, I mean, no, Spain is good too. I know STUKAJOE goes to BLTECON.
Yeah.
And I want to go there for their jamon.
Yeah. But I never went to a game convention in Europe. I was supposed to go when the COVID thing declared, and I had to cancel everything. So I really want next on my list of things to do. I really want
in Italy, eh?
Italy, well, France also, and Spain if I can manage it. I want to go to game convention there and meet the people. I know from the internet, but I never met in person. I want to go and see those guys. That's for sure.
That's incredible. I mean, the whole setting. You're probably gaming in a battle setting.
Yeah, well, here we're in a nice Swiss hotel. It's okay.
Yeah.
But when I see French people playing like a Musée de l'Armée and all the Napoleonic.
Holy cow!
How come I'm not there?
No, but
I
that's
want to go
incredible.
there.
What a setting.
Yeah.
I'm getting shivers. Like,
yeah.
seriously, man?
Yeah. So much history there.
So much history. Anyways, Carl, I'm not going to take too much of your time.
Thanks.
People are screaming in the bloody street. What are they?
Yeah, what is happening
I
here?
don't know, McGill or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's it. The McGill
It is, eh?
and stuff again.
Knock them down, kill them all! I'm joking. Thanks, Carl.
Thanks.
Bon, let's
Howdy folks, it's Meandering Mike. A very tired Meandering Mike. I've been up all night filming. This is my weekly channel update. As we can look over here down on the screen there, we have our last week's weekly channel update. And then we got a bunch of unboxings. There are 5 new unboxings. Yes, I did 5 unboxings this week. It's crazy talk, but yes, I did that. So one of the things I covered is the Charles S. Roberts Award 2023 category for Solitaire games. One of them was already in the can. That was the Viva la Emperor there, which was also in the solo game category. The 3 new ones in the solo category, as you can see down there, is Global War from White Dog Games. It's a World War I solitaire game from Arben Madison. And we have A Glorious Chance. This is by Gina Willis. It's from Legion War Games. It's 1812 on Lake Ontario. And we have Halls of Hegra from Tompet Games, not Trumpet, Tompet Games. And that's by designer Petter Schranke Olsen. So, besides those games in the mode category for solo or co-op games, I did 2 unboxings from historical periods. I was not able to do full historical periods, just didn't have enough time to unbox enough, so I picked some more obscure titles from more obscure publishers just to give them a little bit of exposure. So the next one up there on the list is the Sleepwalkers down here in the middle. It's Sleepwalkers, Imperial Rivalries and the Great War. It's from Dr. Richter Conflict Simulationen. Designer is Dr. Benjamin Richter. This is in the new category for political, social, economic. It's a diplomacy game. And so I also had an old unboxing there from another game that's in this category. That's the Border Reavers from GMT. And it's more of an economic, there's rating involved, but it's mostly an economic game. So other new one there is El Gran Capitan. This is in the gunpowder / industrial era there. It's set 1490 through 1530, the Italian Wars. So besides that there, I had 2 other unboxings in that category already. The Battle of White Plains from GMT, American Revolutionary War, and another 1812 War on the Great Lakes from Compass Games. And so the Glorious Chance 1812 game didn't make this period, but it was in the solo game category. So those are all the 5 unboxings and 3 updated old unboxings, and I updated the data about them being nominees for this year. Then there was my 4th part on my series of the general coverage of the Charles S. Roberts Award, talking about, besides this solitaire category, some controversy and issues, some topics about the nominating process, voting, all that. Why, if there's supposed to be 5 nominees, sometimes there's only 3 or 4, and sometimes there's 6 or 7 on the list. So I discussed that, the ins and outs of that. What are some of the suggestions I have on how that can be approved going forward in the future? There will be one more video coming up on the Charles. I'm going to cover the Game of the Year. There's 7 Game of the Year topics. I've only got 1 unboxed, so there's 6 more. Can I get it done by Sunday, the end of Sunday? The voting, so don't forget to vote if you haven't voted already. May 13th, that's the end. This is Friday, that's the end of Sunday. So get your votes in. But I will get one more video out covering that, including another 6 unboxings. Can I actually manage to do 6 unboxings the next 3 days? I don't know. I'm going to try. Somewhere I'll get some sleep. So, Meandering Mike, to all you folks that are watching this on Dan Picoli's Don't Even Hear, I'm going to send you back to Dan. And if you're watching on my channel, thank you for being a viewer. And please subscribe if you haven't already. And I really appreciate your support. And as I always say, take care of your games and they'll take care of you. Thanks. Ciao and goodbye.
Another week! Another show! Man, this was a long one, but hey, you know what? You don't gotta watch the whole thing in a shot. You got a whole week to watch it before I, spew stuff again every week. Thanks for watching. Excuse me. Thanks for subscribing. Please subscribe if you're not subscribing. I mean, my subscribing numbers are stale. That's it. They're capped. Damn! Come on. And thanks for liking. And hey, please support this channel. So I'd like to thank all our contributors, Ricardo, Ken, Mike, Doug. Something's up again with my Chrome app. It seems that my subscriptions to all the channels, sometimes some of them don't come up. And I don't know why this is happening. What the hell was that? What am I doing? I swear to God. Anyways, have a good weekend. And thank you to Carl Parazzi for a candid interview. Next week, I'm going to have Jean-Francois's interview on. And very interesting coin conversation about a skeptic like me and how his impassioned words, believe it or not, his impassioned words, because he's a Quebecer, man. Quebecers are impassioned. Huh? It's the Latin in them. And you're going to say, but no, he's French, he's Quebec. Where's the Latin? From France! Just a language! Don't argue with me. I'm impassioned. Have a great time. Be nice to people, for God's sake. And you know what? I got myself another BB gun. I got a Schofield 1887, I think. God, I love it. If you want me to show you the Schofield here, let me know in the comments below. I'll show you my BB guns. I have 10 so far, and I think I'm becoming the collector. Who knew that I collect stuff? Anyways, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.